This is my third try at a video focusing on a philosophy topic. Since my first two videos were pretty much crap, from being too slow, and not getting to the point, I figured I'd try another format. And since I'm bad at speaking, and lazy, I'll try getting this AI to speak for me. She probably sounds better than me at least. To get to the topic, what is the subconscious? The concept of subconsciousness seems like it should be quite significant and relevant in this world, considering it seems to have a core influence on basically all animals and humans' reactions. My understanding of subconscious is that it's basically a reaction of the mind, of which the individual is not aware, to avoid or pursue a situation, based on memory of similar circumstances. It functions by recording sensory input of a situation, and linking positive or negative reinforcement with those recordings, which are saved as memory. Priority of memory space in the brain, for which senses are saved more accurately, varies from animal to animal, depending on their particular effective use of senses. But memory priority also fundamentally depends on the reinforcement, which is linked by the specific experience. When I refer to reinforcement, I basically mean emotional feedback. What we consider emotions for humans seems to be pretty much just an instinctual feedback trigger in the brain to avoid or pursue certain situations. These feedback triggers develop gradually over generations of any particular species. As natural selection would have it, it's based on what's most effective for that species' survival and reproduction. The reinforcement trigger then reacts as a default to a particular range of circumstances, causing that animal to avoid or pursue those circumstances, which are typically harmful or helpful. When an animal encounters an experience with some degree of reinforcement, the memory of that experience is prioritized based on the severity degree of that reinforcement. For example, if a deer has the experience of going near a certain pond and being attacked by a wolf, that deer would receive fear as severe negative reinforcement. The sensory input of the sight of the pond would be recorded with high priority for memory space because of the linked negative reinforcement. The deer would then avoid those circumstances of going near that pond in the future. This could likely benefit the deer by avoiding that area where there's a high probability of the wolf attacking again. This same function of memory linked with reinforcement applies to humans as well. People go through many experiences every day using subconscious reinforcement. One significant difference in humans is that we regularly have the ability to overpower subconscious influence using conscious awareness. My understanding is that conscious awareness allows the person to access additional memories, relative to the factors of the circumstances. These extra details of memories take more time for thought, but generally cause a more effective reaction, because of more specific factors being analyzed. But any time in which a person has a lack of attention, and therein conscious memory access, the brain goes back to that default of subconscious reaction. This happens regularly, throughout any typical day, when a person is maybe performing repetitive or simple tasks, which don't provoke conscious thought. Dreams are likely another common state of subconsciousness, where the mind is inattentively accessing memories, and then receiving the linked reinforcement, in a cycle. Being drunk or sedated would likely be another common state of subconsciousness, where effective comprehension of factors within the situation is reduced. Overall, subconscious reaction seems to be a useful function for most animals to avoid or pursue similar situations in the future. Humans seem to have a method of overpowering subconscious reaction, but still make use of it regularly. Considering it seems to be a core and common influence on the reactions of basically every animal and person on Earth, it should be quite useful in understanding the function of subconsciousness.